is there a bias against Rick Lemos at the start?
I don't think there's a bias. I think they're just unhappy with the coverage. The client hasn't been looking very good in the first half of the campaign, and they're getting a little desperate. They're grasping at straws, and as people often do, they're trying to shoot the messenger.
How would you typify the coverage between, you compare Eddie Francis' coverage to Rick Lemos' coverage when you start? Do you think it's been fair?
I think it's been fair. I know that, for instance, I'm now reporting to a different manager during the election because as I said today, there was a perceived conflict of interest because my immediate editor, John Coleman, is married to the mayor's assistant. But so I don't report to John for the duration of the election. My columns are going through the editor, Marty Veneto, just to avoid any perception of bias, but obviously that still exists. You can't help that. But I want to say that nobody ever tells columnists what to write. No one has ever told me what to write. If you go back to look at my first campaign, my first columns about the mayor last year, I was very critical of Mayor Francis and some of his policies, particularly the canal and some of his lawsuits and the Drick Road, things like that. Just because I agree with him now doesn't mean it's biased. It means I've changed my opinion about a few things, and I'm reporting on different events today than last year. But last year I was critical of the mayor. Right now I'm not that critical of the mayor. If he doesn't like that, I'm sorry.
At the end of the day, or at the worst case scenario, even if there was a bias, what he's alleging, what's the outcome of that? Is it illegal? Can the newspaper do that? Can you explain that to folks?
People often confuse bias with opinion. A judge is biased if an accused walks into the courtroom and he says, "Oh, that guy looks guilty." That's bias on the part of the judge because the judge has to be impartial. The media, is our job to judge. It's our job to have opinions. It's our job to report, criticize, to analyze, to contrast. That's not bias. Just because your side doesn't look good doesn't mean it's biased. It means you're just using the public argument. I think that's smoke and mirrors. He knows it won't be heard for months and months. The election will be long gone, way over. He's just counting on the other media picking up this story to try and raise the doubt in people's minds. That's smoke and mirrors.
Can you just spell your last name with the proper spaces for me?
Yeah, the last name is Vander Dolen. That's capital V as in Victor, A, N as in Norman, D as in Delta, E, R, space, capital D as in Delta, O-E-L-E-N.
Okay, good.